So recently, it's been a real challenge for me. Not recently, but it's typically a challenge to come up with sermon ideas. Not that there's not anything to talk about, there's an infinite amount of things to discuss. The question is what? How? What's the context? Now, people have come to me and said, well, it's Shabbat. We want Sabbath peace. That's what Shabbat Shalom means. And I agree. And I work on having some very inspirational, lighthearted sermons, and they should always be inspirational. Unfortunately, that's kind of difficult these days to come up with something like that because of what's going on in our world. How do you make it light and airy and fun when incidents of anti-Semitism and Jew hating have risen over the last few years to the point where it's actually become acceptable, to the point where you have one of the main parties has a major wing where if you don't hate Israel, you're not part of the club. And they try to separate it out. Well, we don't hate Jews, we just don't like Israel. And some of those people that are saying that are Jewish. And I would like to remind those people that call themselves Jews that at the end of Passover and at the end of Yom Kippur, we say the same thing, and that is next year in Jerusalem, which makes us all, according to the common vernacular, Zionists. People say that Israel has committed genocide. They have politicians going on fact-finding missions, and they change their story about how dangerous it was, not by Palestinians, but by the Jewish settlers and the IDF. And the story changes every time they give a conference. So how do you be positive? How do you make it light and airy in that environment? And I think the answer is very simple. As that starts to get, as that Jew hating, and that's what I'm going to call it. I'm not going to mince words here. As that Jew hating gets more and more acceptable, part of our existence, you are seeing a reaction to that. You are seeing people saying, wait a minute, let's look at the facts. In an environment where politics is power and people are vying for power, and they're saying what they feel they have to say in order to get that power, to get people on their side. People are throwing facts out and calling it for what it is. Now, we say this every Saturday. Even though evil may seem to flourish, their doom is sure to come because yours is the ultimate triumph. And the key is ultimate. What does ultimate mean? It may not mean tomorrow or next week or next month. But it definitely means that their doom is sure to come, for Hashem's is the ultimate triumph. And we say these words over and over, and that's where we get our Shabbat Shalom. That's where we get our Sabbath peace. With the knowledge, not the belief, not the hope, but the knowledge that God's triumph will prevail. We know this. How is it that truth always overcomes lies? How does good overcome evil? Because evil is based on a house of cards. It's got no base. There's no foundation to evil. It's made up. Good has a foundation, something you can stand on, a ground that is under your feet that will support you. That's what facts are, because facts are reality. I can say anything I want about this beamer. I could tell you it's quicksand and I'm going to sink into it. I could tell you that it was built with inferior material. And yet here I still stand and I'm not going through it. That's the difference between a lie and a truth. That's why the truth will prevail. we Jews embrace truth. We embrace truth in a number of ways. Divine justice. And I'll repeat what I said last week. We are the only people that demands that women have equal rights with men. We are the only culture that says that women can own property the same way men can. This was laid out. We have women prophets the way we have men prophets. When somebody comes to the land of Israel and they are a proselyte or a convert, you're not even supposed to call them a convert. They're a Jew, period, end of story. And there is no difference, none. They are treated like everybody else. And it is a commandment to observe that, because we are Jews and we believe in divine justice. We believe in divine fairness. We don't make the rules as we go along. That's why we repeat every day, twice a day, do not follow your eyes or your heart. You follow God's law. That is how I know that these people are going to fail. And that is what brings me peace. And I'm going to encourage all of you when you see that, because you can't get away from it. It's everywhere. Hold that in the back of your minds. That will give you peace. The knowledge that these people have nothing to stand. The quality of their work is inferior and faulty, and they will fail.